Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing two uploads. I did one this morning and this will be my afternoon upload. I'm just feeling very keen and excited to go ahead and just put out two guides in one day. Now this was a request and it was to use Thrive and the Dominance archetype and see how it would play in the pro ladder in 9.6. So let's go through the deck list a little bit. When Kashi first came out, I was playing a lot of the Oberyn King. So in this event, we have Oberyn King, which plays into the whole Dominance archetype quite a bit because it spawns cards that have a Dominance tag. And of course, whenever we play a Wild Hunt card, because we're Devotion, it's going to be able to boost it by one. So we're getting extra value there whenever we're deploying one. Now, to go with Oberyn, we have quite a few Wild Hunt cards. We have the Hounds, which ultimately the Oberyn will help keep this Hound safe and on removal range. We have the Conquerors, which are just a healthy 8-point slam when played, after the Oberyn King or off the Oberyn King. And then a combination that I like to do is pulling Oberyn King into the Wild Hunt Riders and getting that big deck thin out in one turn and just getting a huge sweep of points on the row. So that's something that I often aim for, but it's not something that you need to do. And the Wild Hunt Riders are just a good point thin, getting the points out of your deck and getting that 9 points on the board if played after Oberyn. So quite good there. I didn't want to include a lot of the other Wild Hunt cards because I felt like they were a little bit underwhelming. And then the other ones that I did not include, they were also leaning more in the direction of playing a Frost deck. And I did a Frost deck recently, but I don't think that Frost was really what the request was going for. So again, we leaned more in this direction here with the whole Thrive. And I find what really supports Dominance quite well are relics, because relics can go tall. And you see with the Witch's Apprentice here, this is just going to be boosting by 2 every single turn. So assuming we have Sabbath. So what this is going to do is it's going to help us always have Dominance, because these can get up to like 20 points. And when these are going off and we have cards like the Beast going off, they're really going to make sure that we get up really tall, right? And to help us get to Sabbath and help us get early on Dominance, we have cards like the Gansian, which are really good healthy point slams, right? These can get up to 9 points pretty quick if we put it between two relics, and we have the Self Eaters to split in order to do that. So it's pretty strong there. Now, because we're actually running a deck that can achieve Dominance, I feel like Strigg is actually a pretty good addition here. With Dominance, we have the ability to damage something by 4. So that's like an engine removal in one card, plus 5 base power. I remember when Strigga used to be the go-to card, and it's feeling pretty go-to in this deck here. And with buffed Toad Prince now being able to consume a unit with 4, this actually triggers Thrive, which is nice, but it also plays into removing one of their engines, which is awesome, right? So these cards are really good cards to have here as far as control, and they kind of work with what we're doing overall. Now, we have a Tall Punish, we have an engine removal, and we have a couple small engine removals. We got some good control here as well. I don't like to play without any sort of control tools, but I didn't want to put too many so that it takes away from us slamming down points. So this is about the threshold of what I'm willing to put down here, and it's working out just fine for me right now. Now, Caranthir is good because it has multiple targets. We can Caranthir into the Kashi, we can Caranthir into the Beast, or we can Caranthir into the Apprentice. I mean, worst case scenario, you go into a Wild Hunt Hound, but that's a little bit sad. So we have options for Caranthir here. It gets its value every time. 9 times out of 10, you're looking for the Kashi in this case. And Bloody Mistress just makes sense to the deck because it's another relic. It gives out 2 Thrive tokens, right? So it's going to be contributing to our big Thrive swing. And, that's pretty much it there. Now, Mamuna doesn't trigger Thrive, but it helps bring out units and get more consistency, so we could pull out just about whatever we need. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, like literally 5 pairs of cards that we could pull out with Mamuna. I've never seen Mamuna in this case actually brick, so it's pretty comfortable there. Now, I played a couple warm-up games and they were hit or miss, but then once I got going, guys, I actually won 5 games in a row, and the 5 games that I won when I was recording are the ones that I put in this video. Now, they weren't in the exact order, but I rearranged them, so one of the cooler games at the front and stuff like that, just because it's more interesting for the video. But so far, so good, and I'm going to keep playing this here. The games are played around 24-20 MMR. I'll maybe update you guys as I play it some more and see how far we can go with something like this. But I definitely think you should give it a try if you're looking for something different to play, because it feels relieving, you know what I mean? And a lot of these control decks right now don't have enough points to even come back from, you know, like, they just don't have the points. Like, if you're playing against Milva, they can kill as many things as they want, but they still have to outpoint you, and we have all these Thrive engines going on and stuff like that, so it's very difficult for them. And you'll just see what I mean during the games today. Alright, and for the first game we got Nilfgaard double cross. So it'd be nice to get some thins out here. I don't really like Operin in hand round 1, because I don't think we'll ever play him in round 1. Just doesn't really get a lot of value here, so we'll go ahead and tuck that away. Now, I don't think we need 2 natural selections. Pulling the Qcento is not great either, because our hand's pretty gold heavy. And right away we lose dominance, which is a little bit frustrating with the hand that we have, obviously. So we have to stack to Sabbath, and then we can try and get dominance back through one of the Witch's Apprentices. It's a little frustrating. I'm trying to get out these riders here. So we can do it next turn if we're able to nudge down the 8. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, because even if we don't compete in this round, we can at least take our thin.
No good wine will come from you. Not
Holy.
compost.
So it's kind of what I value most at this point. Our hand is just not optimal to push into the round, so I'm going to take a defensive Parasite, take the 9 power here, try and get out the riders next turn. That's probably going to be what we're going to do, and then just pass at 6. If they do go ahead and play into it, then we'll just have to play down and make some commitments here, and I'm okay with that at this point. Because it would be like a Toad Prince and maybe a Witch's Apprentice, you know, if we got a pass from them here. But if they do play, we're probably down far enough that we can't come back, and it wouldn't be worth it because they'll tempo pass on us. So keep that in mind. 39 points. It's just too much to do, right? Okay, we got some playable cards here. That's good. When it comes to pairs, I like to mulligan back maybe one of the options in the pair, just so that Mamuna has good, healthy options and variety. So we've got a few different options here for Mamuna that we're playing the first copy of. Self-Eater was already played, so it's not bricked already. I think we just go ahead and play something like that, really.
Yet another horn for my collection.
And you could see here we have most of what we need. So if I draw like a gold and a Naglfar, I'm pretty happy. If we draw 2 golds and Naglfar, we're like perfect. At this point, the Hound's worth the least. Striga's okay. I want that. I really do. I might actually tuck back the Witch's Apprentice because we're playing against Nilfgaard. So we can go in for a Conqueror and just do that before maybe they manipulate our grave or our deck, and just go ahead and take that out here.
This world as we have conquered countless others.
The sooner we get to Sabbath, the sooner we can play the Bloody Mistress. That's kind of the plan here. Beast is really good to put online as soon as possible too. So bribery into a Striga can't remove anything. And they roll another Striga. Yeah. When I saw this, it was pretty crazy, but it didn't really make the world of a difference here. We can honestly just kind of stick to our script here. The Bloody Mistress, I believe, puts us at 25, does it not? Well, it'll put us over 25, so we could put that there to the right so that the beast kicks in first. Just if they damage anything, it makes it a little bit easier for us. Now, they give us the heat wave, but we do keep the tokens, so it's not all bad, right? And we can maybe look at putting something like the Self-Eater online, just so that we have some relics going on. I don't want to fill the back row because the back row is going to be reserved for the Kashi, and we don't want to overswarm either, so we don't have to necessarily click that Self-Eater right away. That sucks. How do you tech against a muzzle when no one plays muzzle? I played muzzle once, like it was like in one of our content tournaments for Legacy. Like, it was pretty fun. Just an unexpected card. Do we ever take Striga here? Yeah, there's not a lot else I want to play. If we put it off the armor, we get extra points here on the Mamuna. It sort of puts it at that tall removal scary range, but I was trying to get some more ceiling on the beast. And we can just go ahead and take the Kashi here. The fact that they took Yennefer's Invocation on the Mamuna means that we have a little bit more room to slam down some Thrive engines and not have to worry about them getting taken. We saw muzzle as well, so they can't use muzzle on the Kashi. So I'm feeling decent. Okay, we trade Beast for an Apprentice. I actually don't mind that too much. We'll go ahead and put this on the melee row, just so we get the adjacent relics that we can put the Gansians between them. But you see what I mean, guys? Like, we have so many points coming out of this. Like, even control decks are having trouble dealing with all this. They're dealing with one thing, it's causing another problem, and killing a larva is not going to do a whole lot here. Now, we don't have a really good target for Toad Prince, so it can wait.
Blueberries, lady of the woods.
And if I remember correctly, on the next turn I actually made a mistake. I was screen sharing this, me playing these games with my buddy, and I wasn't like 100% concentrating. I thought that this was the Toad Prince for a second to eat the Leo. You see what I mean? I hovered over it, but I accidentally put it down on the wrong side. If we put it in the middle, we would have got the 2 extra points, but fortunately it wasn't a game where it mattered all too much, so, you know, that's basically why that happened. And Toad Prince just comes here, and at this point we both know, how do you go and make these points in one turn? Although that's like a really good Mamuna. Look at that. It's like a really good Mamuna. Almost a 30-point Mamuna. Big win. Moving on to the second game. And I'm sure you guys are curious about this matchup here. The ladder is flooded with Guerilla tactics. Like, really flooded. I just don't know what to play because everything's just going to get killed. Auburn round 1's kind of tricky. We know that the Hound gets removed right away. Gansians need relics. Gankind, I really don't know how to say that. The best we can do is just hike this up and see if it can survive a turn or two. And if we can get it to work this one turn, we can put in cards like the Beast for supporting. We can put in, you know, the riders, but this kind of requires maybe a bit of an answer, doesn't it? I think I take Striga here just because we need to get points on the board. we have to respect the tempo. I don't think that a natural is quick enough at that point.
Yeah, I worked for the police.
And now I think I'm going to take that, because those add up quite a bit. And with Saskia here, I'm basically looking to get out of the round, and we can do that probably,
I'll get it done.
or not. Holy. Saw 2 leader charges here. Okay, that's not all bad though.
You must hold it between your teeth, that's so.
Do we ever, yeah. If we dump riders here, we might actually find our space.
Uh-oh.
13, nothing's moving, we pass. Like enough of that, you know? And for what it's worth, we did okay. We put down a couple bronze cards and we played Striga, you know? So we haven't really committed a lot here. Our hand's looking really good to either defend a bleed or to go into round 3. Now we have something we can just play. That's good. Can't say I love the hound here. Can't say I love them bleeding here either, but what else do we got? We obviously want to try and get 2 units on the road as soon as possible. How's the best way to do that? Is kind of what I'm thinking at this point. You know, we could roll Auburn, yeah.
I shall break your
Now,
horn, beast.
it's probably just Bruiser. For what it's worth, the armor is kind of nice. 10 points is better than 7 points. Are they going to keep playing? That's kind of what I'm trying to decide here. Like, it's not really a good thing that we're getting bled here. You know what I mean? I guess they're looking at our deck like, you can't be serious. Like, why would you play this, right? So that looks to me like they have Milva in hand, or they're not running Milva. But no, they are running Milva. We saw in round 1. So Milva's in hand. From the little experience I have playing Milva, I never really like to bleed with Milva in hand. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. As long as we can play around that saber. Okay, we let the 1 go. We're just trading. I know it's not like obviously great trades because they can just put like making a bomb kind of cards here, and yeah, I'm just looking to see if they have it. Oh man, I remember this play. One thing I don't like playing into is stuff I can't see. And like, look at that. That's probably the best incinerating trap you've ever seen. I'm determined now to win this game. We'll play around, you know, roll punish. Obviously, yeah, it's not bad. Hit some things that thrive. It'll just heal itself up. The beast still gets the 2 points here. Kashi's protected by armor. Has a bigger thrive curve. We should be okay. Now, holy, I'm gonna play it from hand.
I trust no one. Never have.
I don't even think we have to play the original copy now. We could probably just play these 5s. First one plays for 5, second one plays for 7. It should just be enough. They're going for Eldane, I'm sure.
No, I don't nibble at them. They fall right out.
Yeah. So they spent their entire leader. We have our leader and we have our big play. Feeling pretty good. They dumped down a few traps, which is actually pretty nice to see. Let's pull in some good cards here. I think we actually do keep. If I could pull Toad Prince, we're laughing. Well, we can. Yeah, I think we just keep our hand.
Damn tasty. It's a pity I can never finish.
Don't you fret about me.
Uh-oh.
Take care of myself.
You know, I'm tired of seeing this card, so I think I'm just gonna eat it. And I know it's not the... It's a good consume, but it's obviously not a full 4. And we do slow things a little bit down on the whole Kashi play, but I honestly don't think it's really a huge deal here. Let's just go ahead, crank it. I'm just thinking, okay, if I put down Kashi and that actually happens to be a pitfall, we're in trouble, right? But fortunately, we're good here. It's probably a serpent. Or crushing or something like that. We're not getting the full value from the Bloody Mistress, but I feel like it's not even needed here. We just have so many points that they can't keep up with it. And this is what I was talking about. I don't even know if we have to play our last card here. Yeah, we shouldn't have to play it. We'll throw down the... Would have been nice if that was unarranged. Yeah, we'll throw that down. That should just be enough points without having played our last card, because if we do play our last card, we're playing for negative points. Unless they flip the trap here.
You're in my forest now.
Yeah. So, I could go and take out the 6. We don't get the opportunity to. I wish we did. Moving on to the third game, we have Enslave, and I'm pretty sure... I want to say it's 6th, but we'll check in a second here. And for what it's worth, guys, like pretty much all the matchups today, you'd look at like our deck and say there's no chance. But it just seems to be like working alright. So I'm pretty happy about that. Do we ever just beast it? Yeah, it's Enslave 6. And I'm throwing beast down here because we're on red. And I'm thinking, okay, assassination will happen regardless. But if they leader that, that's even better. And then they go and do they leader it anyways? Super thirsty. Now we just don't play this round. Tough part is that we don't have any sort of dominance. We can't get dominance. Like, that's just too tall. 10 points and counting. We have 7. Calvi comes out here too. Jeez. They're going to temple pass on me at 7, aren't they? I've accepted it. I've accepted that at this point they might pass at 7, and we do not play. We actually just passed 7, take the loss uneven, because that's just how it is. Because 30 points, and we can't even get out riders, let alone any of our other combos right now. It's just better that we pass. And at least we've seen leader in exchange, right? The only card that could save us there would be like an Igni. Something like that. So, because they won the round on the even, they're probably going to play us down to nothing. And we have to start looking into a strategy. Okay, what do we have for round 3? Oh, I remember this play. So, I wanted to get it done in one card and really switch it up on them. So, I was really high rolling. I mean, we had a really good chance of pulling it, right? 66.666. So, whatever the case, you know, Toad Prince should have been there, hopefully, but unfortunately we didn't get it. Sad Striga played for 5 points. And I'm thinking, okay, at least we can go and take it out next turn, right? Unless they joust it. But yeah, it wasn't my proudest moment there.
Name's Reigns. Remember that.
So, I think we're willing to give them their card back. Or even... Yeah, we could play down to 7. Like, okay, we're not down a card just yet. We have to start putting out some tempo, though, because I don't want to go down into a round 3 with them having, like, a double last say situation. Oh my gosh, the beast. Like, what do you even do here? Mamuna comes out, and my thought process is, okay, the beast is going to go to 8 points next turn. I do have the Wrath, and if we Wrath it, then things aren't looking too bad, right?
You've no chance. Do you not see that?
We have to take it here anyways, otherwise we lose it. And I thought about putting Imlerith in this deck as well, but I just didn't think we needed it. Because a lot of the cards that we have, we actually want to play. We don't just want to discard them from hand.
Defeat them with hunger.
The worst thing that can happen right now is them, like, temple passing on us. The best thing that can happen is that. Like, that's huge. That actually saved the day. And what that means is we can actually just put down one of the Witch's Apprentices next turn. Get tons of value from that. Thank you. Well, now we can't. We could put down that. I think that's respect. Like, we should be playing something like this here because we have to respect their tempo. Like, they're putting out all their expensive golds, right? Yikes. That's the problem about losing uneven, is that they get to just play little cards like that and try and force out better cards. But we have some really good inexpensive plays. That's unfortunate. Still ahead though. I'm trying to preserve Kashi, so I'm not playing Kashi at the most optimal time.
Ha! Yet another horde for my collection.
I don't think it really matters where we dump the Conqueror. I'm just trying to keep Sabbath.
Target acquired.
And I'm thinking that they're probably going to go and try and seize that as well, potentially, but it's not really going to be that great.
Wouldn't touch a hair on my head, she said.
You know, looking back now, we could have played the Witch's Apprentice on the left side, or sorry, the Mistress on the right side would have been better, just so that we would have had that extra 2 points on the Gansean. But I wasn't necessarily expecting that we'd have to play down this far either. Now, they probably passed here because I don't think they can do it. Yeah, actually, that's enough. That makes us have to play. So if we had, let's say, the two relics beside each other and we were able to somehow get that Gansian like in between them, then we would have had, well, it was enough points to tie. It still wouldn't have put us ahead, right? So either way, we're going all in. Wow. Bad cards. Okay, we put down Pig. If Pig sticks, we play leader, and then we can put in the Gansi and get the most points. Parasite something. We should win. I'm doing a provision check, and honestly, they've spent like a lot, you know? Here. We're gonna have to just slam down points. At least they played Treason already, so that's out of the way. And I'm also considering like a Vincent wouldn't be enough here, right? Anything that destroys with status or over 10, so we're just good. Moving on to the next one, we have another Nilfgaard, guys. I feel like Imposter might actually be worse. Or just as bad. Not my proudest round one hand, but at least we can go ahead and play with something like that and get some points.
No good wine will come from here, not even compost.
I will not have you gaze at me so.
A little bit underwhelming Lydia here. So 11, you know, it's not the best Toad Prince, but it's a Toad Prince that's going to help keep us ahead here and get Sabbath quicker. And if we get down the Witch's Apprentice next turn, there's no way at all. Well, maybe. Heat Wave's the thing. They still have to play if we pass. That's consideration here. A Self-Eater is also not bad. Pig's also not bad. Pig requires an answer. We still have a pass. But we lost dominance, which is kind of not ideal. I think I actually just go ahead and play one of those to turn the pig online. Just feels decent here. That should put it out of reach. Yeah. And that's okay. So when all goes well, you guys can see like we can commit maybe 1 or 2 7 or 8 provision cards to a round and some bronzes, and we're able to win the first round, and then we can save most of our cards for later on. Really good bronzes within the deck, so kind of carries us a little bit. I'm just playing this to see what happens. I like what I saw. That's really good. Brathens, Lydia, Heatwave out of the way. That's another thing. I feel like the Self-Eaters in place of the Larva in the 6 provision slot plays a lot better against Nilfgaard, because they have ways of just triggering Thrive on those Larva much easier than getting the Self-Eater to split, copying another relic and playing that. Like, it's a lot more effort for them to get the payoff from it. So it is playing a little bit defensively around that matchup as well. Let's have a look here. I think we're doing all right. Can't say I love Squirrel. If they pull into our Conqueror, though, it's going to die and deploy. The one they took. And I guess we're going to see it back here. Ah, that's bad. And that's good.
Seen all, and I am bored.
You see what I mean? That reminds me of like a Cirrus playing a Lippy deck. With like less effort. You just throw the card down and usually it happens. It doesn't always happen. You know, you can't be only aiming for that, but there's a good chance it'll happen.
It seems you fear death.
I forgot what they took at that point. I think what they actually took was the Toad Prince. Busted. You see that? Pigs online, 30-11. We're climbing. Problem is if they leader that, we can't remove it. They took away our Wrath. Parasite doesn't do it. We'd have to like Parasite it and then use something else to remove it. Like a Parasite and then let's say, well now we can't even have Dominance.
You've got one.
Up to 4. A natural takes it though. I think it's worth getting rid of that now so we don't have to deal with that for the whole round.
Push on! No mercy!
Vinny. Okay.
Gentlemen have their vices.
Would have been the same amount of points to take out the pig, I guess. I'm happy with that. We got rid of that. Got a couple points back. Now, they didn't have Sabbath, but it wouldn't be too difficult for them to get it back. So I wanted to take care of it while we had the opportunity to, just to get it out of the way. And I feel pretty good about that. Seeing 2 Self-Eaters in hand around 3 is not really what we want because we have Kashi and we don't really want to click those and fill up the whole row because look at our back row already. And it's a Nilfgaard matchup, so don't expect me to be clicking those crazy. I don't think we can stop that pig. I really don't. I think we just have to go for points here and just stop worrying about what they're doing and just focus on what we're doing. And I really want to greet it, so we'll play the next Kashi, then slam the leader. Oh my, I forgot about that. Toad Prince. Jeez. Okay, now we'll slam the leader. There we go. See, we got this, man. Things are working out. We got the Heat Wave out of the way, Vincent out of the way, all... That sucks.
Tell me what you've got.
All the good cards out of the way. I think they're almost done for removal. Gross. If we're getting technical here, you can go ahead and play the Striga next because we can thrive the larva. That's at 3. So I don't think it matters what we hit at this point. We don't have dominance. We're not going to be able to remove anything. Just play the card and move on. And then last card, it'll play for 9 technically because we have the 2 thrives off the larva. And I guess they realized that they wouldn't have enough points no matter what they played at that point. So we got it. It's close, but we got it. And moving on to the last game of the day, we have one more Scoia'tael Guerilla Tactics. If you guys like the deck, give it a try. Let me know how it worked out for you. sometimes you just want to play something simple like this, you know? Really beginner friendly, but this is played at a pro level, so it works out. We're close to 2,500 subs on the channel, and I'm really trying to push for 3K by the end of January, and I think that it's possible for us here because honestly it was like at the beginning of this month we were at like 2K, you know, so 100% we got this. Let's go for it.
Yet another horn for my collection.
And I don't think we can actually play too well into this round. They have too much going on here. If anything, they might just pass on me here. Yeah, holy. We put down... Damn. We played a 7 regardless, hoping that they played a 6. But I think we just chucked down a cheap card. We got too many engines out there. So... everyone just wants to temple pass today. It's nuts. Just pass on it. We'll go on to the next one and then we'll see how it goes there. Just know that if we played any cards there, we would have been in such a bad situation, right? Our hand is okay. Saber comes out. They're looking for the 2-0. Riders can easily be played here. That's kind of nice, though. It plays around Saber quite well. It won't last for long, but at least we can start that. Sure enough, right? Leader charge is a little overkill. I guess they really want to keep the Tiger online. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and play cards. That's the thing. They can deny points, but they can't deny all our points. We have so many points. They killed that one. I think we're okay because I really just want to have room to get these Gansians like out there, or Gankines. Someone tell me how to say that. Yeah, we can just dump cards here. And I don't think that they're both going to stay, but I think that one of them should stay. And then we can obviously just get the 7 points on that here. Sabbath feels impossible, but just point slams are nice. The full leader is gone. We still have ours, so it's a little bit of an advantage here. I think I just go ahead and play, don't I? Just dump a card. Pig gets removed, so... let's just do that. I want to see if they're willing to pass. But I don't think they're going to pass. Like, when I played the card, I didn't think that they were going to pass on us. I think they feel comfortable that they're going to 2-0. And I think I'm going to respect it a little bit here and just try and get some value. Get the most value off our cards as we can here. Siri. Yeah, let's remove that. No, thank you. Hopefully... ah, you're kidding me. I don't think Kashi's going to be too well into round 3. assuming we used our leader already, it makes it a little bit more difficult to pull off. So I figured, why don't we just play it here? I'd rather just kind of slam points later on.
Hey, why aren't you down yet?
And there's no way. Like, if they play here, I don't think they have it. Yeah. We got tons of good cards for round 3. We're not a card down. Parasite's not ideal. Oberon's great. Beast is great. Hound is kind of weak. Nagelfar's perfect. Yeah, like, you see what I mean? If we can survive, we're good. I think we just take Hound off that just because we can. Probably the best thing we can get. It probably dies, though. Okay, not bad. Yeah, let's cram Beast. We got this. So I was deciding between Toe Prince and Striga. I think Striga's actually more points here, right? Look at the value. Just want to thank you guys for stopping by again. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new video, so make sure you come check that out at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We'll see you then.
But the pay's better for souls.